Hello and good morning from Hong Kong. Super excited to be back here. I'm staying in Keung this time. It's closer to my family where my mom is. So that's why it looks a little more coastal, which is very, very beautiful. But I am ready to go into the city center right now. There's so much I want to eat. There's so much I want to see. I want to bring you along with me for just a full day of food adventures. There's gonna be pineapple buns, fishball noodles, rice noodles with peanut sauce, egg waffles, so many different kinds of things. It's gonna be a fun day with a lot of very happy stomachs. Let's go. Made it to Mong Kok. Now walking to my first breakfast spot. I used to come here a lot when I was younger, after school, before school sometimes, to get breakfast or a little afternoon pickup. So they offer a variety of things down here. They have congee, different kind of soup noodles, but I'm focused on up here. That's my favorite section. I ordered a little bit of everything. It's a lot, but you know, starting it off with a bang. So it's here. This is a classic. This is the rice noodle with fish balls on top. You have the peanut sauce and this kind of like sweet sauce on the side. This is the soy sauce fried noodle, another classic with bean sprouts and a little veggie on top. And this was my favorite as a kid. Tifan, we call it. Sticky rice. Has like a giant fried dough in the middle and some meat floss. Iced lemon tea, a must get. Rice noodle. Nothing compares to having it in Hong Kong. They just make it more bouncy, more tender. The sauce is a little bit spicy. And fish balls, my absolute favorite. I have the pan-fried soy sauce noodles. Ooh. Another very classic breakfast item, actually. You can see it glistening. I can never quite replicate it at home, so always a joy to eat it at a restaurant. The noodles are almost like a little bit al dente. A bit of grease in there, just enough soy sauce to add a little bit of flavor. So good. Last but not least, my sticky rice. I was saying earlier, you see the fried dough in there, the meat floss, preserved vegetables. It looks deceptively small, but it is very filling. You can see the chewy on the outside, the crispiness of the dough inside, the savory, like umaminess of the meat floss, and the crunch of the vegetables. So there's a lot going on. It's good to be back. And here's the total. It's around 99 Hong Kong dollars, which is about 12, 13. That was definitely a walk down memory lane. It's been so long since I've last been back, but I also think I ordered like way too much. So I'm gonna walk around for a little bit. I have a couple places marked down here. Actually, I think I might walk up to this pineapple bun place maybe. But you know, these are old stomping grounds for me here. A lot of shopping areas around. Let's see what we find. Oh, what's it called? La Boo Boo? La Boo Boo? La Boo Boo? Made it to the next spot. This is Kam Wah Cafe. They're famous for their pineapple buns. They also have other breads here, but the pineapple bun is where it's at. Here it is. Time to give it a taste. Ta-da! Woo! That is what a pineapple bun is supposed to look like, with a beautiful crust on the outside. The one I got is the bolo yao, so it has the pineapple bun on the outside, and then you have an ice cold. That's a bit of a tiny piece of butter, but there's an ice cold butter on the inside, and the whole point is it's warm on the outside, but ice cold on the inside. So then when you bite, The butter's almost chewy because of how cold it is. The crust on this is so good though. You know, like choux pastry when you get that nice crunch on the outside? That's what you're getting here. And the bread you can see is like super, super fluffy. This is what a kind of a bun is supposed to be like. It's only just started, but I'm already so full. And it's getting so hot. Barely just finished this part of my bun, but got really excited because I saw that this mango mochi place I have saved is right around the corner. So it's what I'm speeding along for.
Made it. This is the third stop of the day, mango mochi. Mong Kok people, we love our mangoes.
Woo! We'll also love our mochi. Big floof over here, so you get the giant mochi wrapped around the outside. It's supposed to be a big piece of mango on the inside, so let's give it a try. They weren't kidding about it being a big mango. And the thing is, they actually serve this kind of cold, so the mango is still a bit like ice cool on the inside, which is really nice on a hot day like this. But the mochi is not hardened, so it's very soft, a little bit of chew. There's like this giant mochi mango pillow, and only for like $2. That's such a good deal. I think I just banged out like too many food items in a very short period of time, so I'm gonna go get a bit of rest time, then we'll continue. While I have some downtime, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to our sponsor for today, Bombas, also known as my favorite sock brand that I have way too many pairs of because of how comfortable they are. Also wore them on the 24-hour journey over to because on long haul flights, their compression socks are a lifesaver. I also brought a whole full bag of their socks on this trip, this month-long trip, because I am averaging about 15,000 steps a day. It's looking like something like this. As you can tell, there's a lot of walking on these food hunts. This time I actually also brought some of these athletic ones because they're more breathable. They help keep my feet from sweating so much so I won't get blisters. And the great news is that Bombas recently started international shipping. They now ship to over 200 countries. And of course, as always, with Bombas, every pair purchased is a pair donated. So you can feel good and do good knowing that your purchase with Bombas is doing some real good. Again, I have a code for you. New customers get 20% off your first purchase, so you can go to my link, bombas.com/ingalam, or use my code ingalam at checkout. Thank you again, Bombas. Now, back to our little food trip. I am back. Rested at the mall for a little bit, bought some water, hydrated. Now heading to Jordan, where my old school used to be, and then going to slowly walk down to find this egg waffle place. It's been a while.
Made it to the egg waffle place. This place has been here for quite a while too.
You can definitely smell it. The thing I really love about this place too is that it almost always makes it to order, so you always get to enjoy it fresh, straight out of the pan. And the craziest thing, right, is that it's just one person, and he's at the same time managing like all these different machines. He's taking the orders, managing the payments, and he does it like super efficiently, which is pretty amazing.
Wow, it smells so good. It's so hot in my hands right now.
Gosh. Remember how I said it smells like freshly baked goods? The reason he rests it on top of the stove too is because it really then like crisps up, so you get that like very crispy exterior, super crispy exterior. And this is what it looks like on the inside, so it's still very soft, very chewy on the inside. Hong Kong people are just very into texture. You get that like contrast. In terms of taste, it is very much like a very egg forward, slightly vanilla, custardy type of cake. I feel like it's very trendy to kind of eat it with like ice cream in the middle with like different toppings, but for me, this is the way, the classic way, where you're really just enjoying it as is, being able to snap it open. It's almost like eating popcorn waffle. Egg waffle, iconic, Hong Kong, too much food coma. All right, I had to go do a quick little pit stop at the hotel, get a fresh change of clothes because I was getting really sweaty. But now I'm on my way to get some dim sum, which I feel like is quintessentially Hong Kong iconic food. I know people usually have it for breakfast, but it's also pretty common to have it basically any time of day. So I'm gonna take you to this dim sum place that I used to love a lot. It's a little more casual, so let's see what it's like now.
This is the dim sum place, one dim sum. There's already a line there too, so
let's hope this line isn't too long.
All right, I'm in line now. They give you the menu and the ordering piece of paper, so you can just write down whatever you want.
Barbecue pork bun.
I think that's pretty good. This table is slowly getting pretty full. This is the fried shrimp wonton. So very crispy on the outside, shrimp on the inside with a sweet and sour sauce. This is the radish cake. Usually comes with some sort of spicy sweet sauce. Shrimp dumplings, hagao. This is probably the most iconic dim sum. Barbecue pork, also very iconic. This is the steamed version.
Time to dig in. Massive shrimp wonton, the thing that they're known the most for. Dip it in the sweet and sour sauce. It really has all this like thin, crispy layers, and then you get the juicy shrimp in the middle. Pairs really well with the sweet and sour sauce. This is why we have tea. It's sort of like a little palate cleanser. Now for another shrimp item, the shrimp dumplings. The proper ratio for shrimp dumplings should be a very thin wrapper on the outside and then like a giant shrimp on the inside. That is a well done shrimp dumpling. Let's see if this is still as good as I remember. Quality definitely still there. The skin is very thin. The shrimp is tender, bouncy, very solid shrimp dumplings. Moving on to the radish cake. Pretty big block over here. It's another specialty where in Hong Kong you really do taste the radish. Sometimes you even see strips of it in there. There's like the little bits of dried shrimp in there, dried ham to give it that like boost of umami. Like a good texture is one where it feels like soft, but there is still sort of a bite to it. Not too chalky, and also not too dense. That's the benefit of using radish in here. Very crushable. Then we have the barbecue pork bun, the steamed version. Very important to have this one hot because it's still very fluffy. Should have a good amount of filling in here. Solid ratio. I really missed good barbecue pork buns. The ones with like, you know, the steamy fluffy bread on the outside and a good chunk of like barbecue pork filling on the inside. A must order. These two items just came. These are the sesame balls, and then this is what we call ham sui gok. It is a deep fried glutinous rice pork dumpling, super crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside with a savory meat filling. This has always been my #1 favorite dim sum item because I really like that chewy texture, but also that crunch on the outside. There you go. So all of that exterior is the chewy mochi part. So literally think like deep fried mochi with like a softer meatballish filling on the inside. Very delightful. This is that sesame ball, basically. Very similar, but the sweet version. This one's very beautifully done and has both sesames on the outside. Ooh, it's black sesame. I feel like this is very similar to Fa Yuen's I make at home. You know, like the soup dumplings with the black sesame filling, but like deep fried. Going back to that kind of like QQ texture. It's very good if you like that sort of mochi treat. I think I ate way too fast, but I got very excited, so everything is just as I remembered. Even 10 years ago, there were lines out the door, and to this day, there still is, so that kind of speaks to itself.
I am very full, and this is the total here. 172 Hong Kong dollars. That's around like 20, 22 US dollars for like a lot of food. A lot. That was a very lovely little meal. I was kind of hoping to get some egg tarts. They didn't have it, so I'm gonna go on a hunt for them. I'm gonna go about like 2 stations away to this area called Sa. They have a couple of places that are well known for their egg tarts, flaky egg tarts. So onto the MTR I go. We are at Kam Wah Cafe. Just gotta make it across the street. Okay, bye. Got it! They gave it to me warm. Like, this is still warm. I don't know if that means that it just came. Ooh, there's condensation. I actually feel like from touching it right now and how flaky it is, this feels like it just came out of the oven. You can smell how buttery it is. The shiny, glistening custard in the middle. This is the, what we call like flaky version of egg tart. So they use almost like a puff pastry crust. You can also get a shortbread crust. I think they actually had that too, but my preference always is the puff pastry version. Nothing like fresh out the oven egg tart. Of the ones I've had in Hong Kong, I actually think this is one of the better ones. That crust on the outside, very like flaky, has a little bit of a crisp. It just goes really well with that softer custard-like center, and it's also very creamy. This is beautifully done. I can almost like slurp the center. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how jelly-like and soft it is on the inside. I can just inhale this, and you don't even have to bite it. This is why Hong Kong is known for its egg tarts. If you're lucky enough to get this when it's freshly made, it will be the best egg tart you've ever had. Next location, some barbecue meats. This is the usual situation here. It's just a long line. There's a lot of options here. Barbecue pork, duck, goose, roast pork. I think I'm gonna go with a trio so we can try all 3 kinds. Roast pork, barbecue pork, and the boiled chicken. So this place is actually also really well known. You can see they have a wall of just like all the celebrities who have come to eat here before. They're really well known for their roast pork. The way they roast it is that they use actual charcoal. White basil. 我要個燒肉叉燒匙雞飯，跟個湯啊咁唔該。One lemon tea, but we'll get soup instead. So usually it's just whatever soup they have for the day. Just some veggies in here, some what I believe is pork. A little bit of sweetness in there. I wonder if it's from the vegetables, but very nourishing, even on a hot day. Alright, it's here. We have the trio combo, barbecue pork, the chicken, and the roast pork. Crispy pork, so you can see. Super crispy on top. Ooh, that looks so good. You can see that fat right there before you get the juicy meat. Usually I like eating it with a little bit of mustard, and they have these little packs on the side. So a little bit of mustard. If you like this kind of like crispy roast pork, this place does it so well. That skin is like crackling. I know there was like that layer of fat, but the way they do it, you don't feel that same sort of greasiness. And it's almost like you have to eat it all in one bite with all these different layers going on. That's the beauty of it. You get everything in one bite. Then we have the barbecue pork, char siu. Not gonna lie, I eat this on the regular, even when I'm in New York City. It's my favorite cut of Cantonese barbecue, Hong Kong barbecue. It's not dry at all. It's tender. It has that flavor and that charcoal. Also a moment for this scallion ginger sauce. I could smell this the moment they put this plate down. And sometimes, honestly, I just eat it with rice straight.
so much flavor in there, so many aromatics. So a little bit goes really far. Same thing with the chicken. You can see it's almost like slightly gelatinous. The skin is glistening once again. So usually I like to eat it with a little bit of the scallion ginger. The way they handle the meat here is just right. It's tender, full of flavor. The texture of it almost feels like it's gently poached, but the skin again has that kind of like cube bounce. This is arguably actually my favorite Hong Kong dish of all time. Ate this so much when I was going to school here every day. And even so now, the beauty of it is not lost on me. I'm just so glad these shops are still around. Bye-bye. Not expecting to find Dragon Beard's candy on my way. Uncle was really trying to like get me to buy two, and I was like, I can't. I feel like you don't really see vendors like this anymore. 6 perfectly shaped Dragon Beard's candy. I haven't even had this in a long time anywhere. All the single strands on there, blowing in the wind, kind of poetic. I think I inhaled too much sugar in that one breath. It is very soft on the outside, very, very delicate sweet. Dragon Beard's candy, as you all know, essentially hand-pulled cotton candy, so it's just strands of sugar. And when you bite into it, the sugar on the outside just melts, and then you get the crunchy peanut filling on the inside. It's a little bit chewy when you eat it all together. I feel like it's a little bit like peanut butter cotton candy, but like crunchy peanut butter. What a nice little find! Starting to get dark now. The sun is about to set. So I'm gonna go find one last meal, some fishball noodles, and that will be the last meal of today. We are here at the last stop of today. Fishball noodles. This is probably what I'm gonna get, some fishball noodles. Last meal of the day. Like that, they've always put the scallions on the side. I am getting a little bit of chili though. It's the first time I've been to a fishball noodle place where they play jazz in the background. Kind of vibe with it. I got the Hofan, which is the flat fried noodles. It's my personal preference. Always opted for this when I go out and eat fishball noodles. Can never go wrong with a little bit of spice. This is what the fish balls look like here. I think they make the fish paste from scratch and then they kind of just like chop it up into chunks. That's why you get this like block shape instead. Very springy, really great texture actually. Almost snaps when you bite into it. Let's try this fish slice. These are like the flatter versions of it that are deep fried on the outside. That springy texture is really what you're looking for when you're looking for a good fish paste type product. Solid dinner all around. Is it dinner? I don't know. I've had countless meals at this point. Non-stop iconic foods. And there it is. That is a wrap on the entire day of eating iconic foods in Hong Kong. There was like a whole variety today. I feel like my stomach's about to explode. A great time going down memory lane, eating some new things, eating some things I've been really wanting to eat for a very long time. So, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.